This episode of Access to the Arts is being made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together. And by Phillips Drugs. Phillips Drugs is your good neighbor pharmacy with free delivery and Pill Pack 2.0. Phillips Drugs with 3 locations, East Side, West Side, or downtown Richmond, and online at phillipsdrugs.com. Hi, I'm Eric. Welcome to this month's Access to the Arts. We're on the campus of Earlham College, where we're going to find out about some events that you can attend. You know, Goddard Auditorium here on Earlham's campus is also the home of the Richmond Community Orchestra. Ray Onco will stop by. We'll talk with Steve Borchers, have an artist spotlight, and find out from Monica Coachline about what they're doing with youth outreach at the Richmond Symphony Orchestra. Welcome to Access to the Arts. Welcome to Access to the Arts. I'm Eric Marsh, Executive Director, Whitewater Community Television. Glad you're able to join us as we take a look at some of the things happening in the community from the local arts organizations. We're sitting in Goddard Auditorium, a place that many people know well. We're here on the campus of Earlham College, and we're talking with Joe Lapone, who's Assistant Director of Events. Thanks for spending some time with us today.
Well, thank you for having me, and welcome to Goddard.
We were here last year, had a chance to be up on the stage. We decided we'd sit into the seats and get comfortable this time around.
That's right, they are comfy.
This is one of 3 or 4 venues, kind of arts venues that you all have here on campus.
Yes, we have about 4 arts venues, performing arts, what we call performance arts venues. Goddard being the largest, about 665 seats on 2 floors. Where most of our convocation, any of our bigger events that we invite the community to, we host in here. The past inaugurations and any types of convocations, artist and lecture series events were hosted here. Okay. We do have another location in Runyon Center, which is Wilkinson Theater. That is our 2nd largest, seats about 325. Okay. And then we have 2 smaller venues in the Center for Visual and Performing Arts. Mm-hmm. That is Lingle Recital Hall, which seats about 235, and then McDaniel Studio Theater, which seats about 160.
You all do a number of events during the course of the year and are nice enough not only to keep them for the students, but you also open up a lot of these to the community. What's the thought behind that?
Well, we live and work in an area where we want our community to be involved. We want our students to interact with those that are different from each other, and Earlham wants to support the community. And so when we bring in these acts and they're chosen via committee, we want events that engage our students, but also engage the community. Get them to campus, get them out, get them on a college campus that they may not be familiar with. So it's really a lot of that community relationship building.
One of the things that you all do on a monthly basis is a convocation, and that's one of the things that you've got coming up early October. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, so October 3rd we have Robin Henderson Espinoza. She actually teaches at Vanderbilt in Tennessee. She is an LGBTQ speaker, and so she's going to talk a lot about LGBTQ and the kind of themes surrounding how that intersects with religion. All the different types of religion that we have through campus or in the community. So she'll challenge our students and those who may be unfamiliar with LGBTQ rights. Mm-hmm. But also kind of challenges their own, religious thoughts. So that'll be a pretty neat and very challenging convocation, but it'll be a good one.
Those convocations happen on Wednesday regularly, somewhere around 12, 1 o'clock?
So every Wednesday, first Wednesday of every month, starting at 1 o'clock. Doors open at 12:30 and usually goes till about 2:30.
Okay. Next couple of things we're going to mention. Tickets are available. So when we talk about tickets being available for an event, how do people get tickets and find out about pricing?
Sure. So all of our convos or convocations are free admission, so you do not need a ticket. Any of our artist and lecture series events, they are ticketed. You can purchase tickets online at earlhamcollegeevents.eventbrite.com. Or you can go to the Running Center box office, which is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Richmond and Wayne County is becoming the place for Shakespeare, and you all have Much Ado About Nothing coming up. That's your theater department, right?
That is our theater department. So this year they chose William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. So we're excited about that, and they're getting prepped for that right now. So they're building the set. But yep, that's the play they chose for the fall semester.
Talk about Flophouse that's coming up. You've got a couple of alum coming back,
yes, huh? Yes. So Dan McCoy and Stuart Wellington are both Earlham alums, so we're excited to have them back. So it's going to be a big event for us. But yes, the Flophouse, or if you're familiar with the Flophouse podcast, it's where they critique movies and kind of make fun of them. And so it'll be a funny, engaging event for all of our internal Earlham community as well as the external community.
And you say it's going to be a fun event. Dan, I think, is a writer for The Daily Show.
Correct.
So a little irreverent, probably.
Yes. So, I mean, if you want to, basically, I tell students, if you want to LOL, this is a good event for you.
Okay. Your convocation coming up in November, Raven Chacon?
Correct. He's a Native American speaker. It's part of our EPIC program that we have here on campus and related to diversity. So he'll talk a lot about his experiences. He's really strong in music, writing own music, and art. So it's a little different of what we've done in the past, but I think it'll be a unique opportunity to showcase kind of that Native American history a little bit.
And I'm sure a lot of people know, but not everyone knows, that the music department here at Earlham College is actually very strong and puts on a number of performances throughout the year. Your November is littered with them at the very beginning, starting with a favorite of mine, Jazz Cushion.
Yeah, so Jazz Cushion is always the most popular on this campus. It's put on by our two amazing faculty members in the music department, Keith and Pavel. They do a great job with getting it out into the community. Our students put a lot of time and effort into it. It's a lot of high energy, a lot of loud noises, but it's really gets the blood flowing and gets you on your feet dancing. So yeah, that's a very popular event here. That's
coming up November 10th, followed the next day on a Sunday, the 11th, chamber music concert. A little bit quieter.
A little bit quieter, a little more soothing. So it's our chamber choir. It's at 4 o'clock, so it's more soothing music. But again, our students that are in in the music program focus on that chamber music will kind of showcase their academic work. So it's usually a quiet and a good way to end your Sunday.
Wrapping up the November, you've got The Living Voice. Different title, same story? Same
story. It's just a fall choral concert, but they call it The Living Voice. So if you're familiar with the fall choral concert, it's a lot of vocals. It's a good one to go to, but yeah, we changed the title a little bit, so it's The Living Voice. We're hoping that adds a little more jazz to the marketing aspect of it.
Joe, thank you very much for having us here on the Earlham College campus. We look forward to a lot of the events that you all have coming up during this year.
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Monica Kochlein, the Executive Director of the Richmond Symphony Orchestra. A very important part of the mission of the Symphony is to provide educational programming. In fact, we have a very busy, packed fall. This fall we'll be seeing third graders from 11 counties, if you can imagine, nearly 800 children in one morning. They'll be provided with entertainment. Colors of the Symphony concert will highlight each of the sections and each of the instruments of the symphony. And bring that all together. Third graders will enjoy music, classical music, as well as movies music, popular movies music. second concert that we provide is a 5th grade concert called Wicked Jack. We invite local author Connie Wooldridge to join us to share her book, as well as the illustrator of the book Wicked Jack and a quintet of musicians. It's a spooky tale, and we typically set that right around the Halloween time. Again, a free concert for children.
There are goings-on across the great dismal swamp of Virginia and North Carolina that are mighty hard to explain. But I can tell you one thing, the mysterious lights you see dancing around out there of an evening is because of Jack, Wicked Jack. Old Jack was a blacksmith, but the thing he really took pride in was his meanness. He talked so bad to people they steered clear of him, except when they had to have a tool fixed or a horseshoe made. Now this was worrisome to Jack. You see, without enough folks to practice his meanness on, he was afraid he'd get rusty at it. So he hit on a plan.
We have Darren Sorley, Mr. Darren. Oh, the instrument. I'm sorry, it's the French horn. Yeah, see?
We also have a 7th grade concert. Our 7th grade concert is Rhythm of the Orchestra. Drummers come from the University of Akron and join the Test drum line. It's a rocking concert, lots of rhythm, lots of toe tapping, lots of clashing cymbals. Finally, we offer the Young Artist Competition, now in its 62nd season. This is our longest standing educational program. We'll offer that in October. There'll be a competition, and the winner of the Young Artist Competition will be featured with the Richmond Symphony at our December concert. We also offer free admission to students ages 18 and under at all of our subscription concerts. Thanks to the generous support of many sponsors, we're able to offer these opportunities for absolutely free. We love being able to work with youth. We love being able to give back to this community. So be sure to send your student, your child, to the Symphony.
Welcome back to Access to the Arts, as we are here at Earlham College and Goddard Auditorium, a place where the Richmond Community Orchestra practices and plays. And I'm joined by a founding member of the Richmond Community Orchestra, Ray Ontko. Ray, how are you today?
I'm delighted to be here.
Glad that you're able to join us. Look, give us a little bit of history on the Richmond Community Orchestra. You were one of the founding members. When did it actually get started and how?
We started about 10 years ago. Several of us were in the orchestra pit for the Richmond Civic Theater, and we said, you know, it'd be really useful if we were able to play all year round and then get together for things at Richmond Civic Theater, having already been warmed up and rehearsed as musicians. So that's how we got our start, and we started with about 15 members of the orchestra. Now we have over 50.
Nice. Obviously all orchestra, but are there pieces that you wish you could find or that you are hoping people in the community might join you and play?
We're
Instruments?
Instruments. We're always looking for additional, especially string players. French horns and bassoons are sometimes hard to find, but all are welcome. If we need to have extra copies of the music for any department, that's fine.
And I think people aren't necessarily aware of that this opportunity exists. So if somebody wants to play with you all, what type of time commitment do they have to put in? When do you practice? And how long is your season, as it were?
We rehearse here in Goddard Auditorium, on Monday nights from 6:30 to 8:30. We have a fall rehearsal schedule that begins the Monday after Labor Day and goes through Thanksgiving, and a spring rehearsal schedule that begins the Monday after Martin Luther King Day and runs till about the middle of June. But it's 2 hours a night, 2 hours a week, one night a week, and all are welcome. And there's no audition process. If people come and they can hang with us as we play together for 2 or 3 rehearsals, you're in.
Okay, it's that easy.
It's that easy.
So they just need to show up here at Goddard Auditorium on a Monday evening, bring their instrument, and go for it, or should they contact somebody ahead of time?
It'd be best to let us know so we have music available,
Okay.
but we won't turn you away. You can always sit and read off of somebody else's stand your first time.
Okay. You've got performances. Obviously, you all are rehearsing, so you're rehearsing into a performance time. First one coming up is October, and it's really kind of a very open event because you all are going to be outside. It's City Arts, right?
That's right. October 6th, City Arts over in Glen Miller Park, there by the pond and the playground. We and many other arts organizations in the community are getting together to celebrate arts in our city, and the Community Orchestra will be playing as part of that for about 45 minutes. The theme for the City Arts this year is Nightmare Before Christmas, so we'll be including several pieces that have kind of a Halloween theme, including a piece from the movie Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. That one is going to be followed up pretty closely by a October 28th performance that you all are doing. That one's inside, a little closer to fall, here in Goddard Auditorium.
Right, October 28th, right here at the Goddard Auditorium. That's on a Sunday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Concerts last a little over an hour,
okay.
And often we have some refreshments after the concert. It's totally free.
What kind of music can people expect to hear? Anything special?
For the October concert, we'll have a number of things that may be familiar. We have Dance Macabre by Saint-Saëns. We've got March to the Scaffold by Berlioz, and Night on Bald Mountain by Mussorgsky. We're also picking up a piece called The Raymond Overture, no relation to me, that we found down at the public library, believe it or not, the
Wow.
Richmond Public Library, Morrison Reeves, that was donated by a local person, and so it's got a local connection to it. And it's something that's not played very often, but has a very peppy step to it, if you will.
Okay.
So that's the Raymond Overture by Ambrose Thomas.
Looking forward to that. And then you all move into October. You all always have a concert somewhere around Thanksgiving. What's the date for this year's show?
Right. The Sunday following Thanksgiving, November 25th, we have a holiday concert, and that will include both sacred and secular selections, and that's the Sunday following Thanksgiving, again at 3:30 here at Goddard Auditorium.
Be looking for that. Lots of opportunity to hear some local musicians playing here at Goddard Auditorium with the Richmond Community Orchestra. Thanks for spending some time with us, Ray.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Diana Pathan. I'm a local photographer. I've been doing photography for a long time, enjoying it as a hobby, and have been putting work in art shows and growing as a photographer. My work is currently on display at Owanda Gift and Galleries, and very proud to have an opportunity to show people what I do. As a photographer, I feel like in the last few years I've really grown, trying to do something new so that my work is not stale. For example, I attended a workshop in Atlanta, Georgia, and came back with the idea to take photographs, to take pictures, to take artwork from the viewpoint of a mouse. And so I have several pieces that I'll be sharing as we go forward that I took pretending that I was a mouse. To shoot a picture from the viewpoint of a mouse, you've got to think, well, what does a mouse see? And their eyesight's very poor, but I was thinking from the viewpoint. So I had to get down on the ground, and in many cases I was laying on the ground, working with my camera to be as low as I could go, and then also shooting up, because a mouse would, if I were a mouse, I would be looking up, and so it's a different angle. So you're low and it's a different angle. And then my latest thing that I've done is I have some wonderful dinner plate hibiscus in my yard, which I have there because of my father who recently passed. And I was looking at them and they're so beautiful, and I thought of Georgia O'Keeffe. So I took some photographs and developed them with the eye of paying homage to Georgia O'Keeffe, and I'm very excited about how they turned out. When I think of Georgia O'Keeffe, I think of huge pictures, I think of brilliant colors, lines, very sensual work, and she's a fabulous painter and has even done some photography work. So my love of photography has given me an opportunity to stretch, to do things that most people my age don't do, like learning Photoshop and all those things. And then I want to continue to grow and grow with friends as I learn more about this world of art, which is a very exciting world to be a part of.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Access to the Arts. Trying a little something new this time. We're going to be speaking to community members about the arts and why their business, or why they individually, or in this case, why a foundation supports the arts in Wayne County. And we have Steve Borchers, Executive Director of the Wayne County Foundation, with us. Steve, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Eric. Glad to be here.
Now, the Wayne County Foundation has been supportive of the arts organizations and the arts in general for quite a while, probably almost, I would assume, since its inception. Mm-hmm. Talk about how the foundation views the arts in the community and their impact on the community.
Well, I think the arts in the community is really an expression of ourselves. I mean, the arts help promote prosperity. They help promote a vibrant community. We know that the arts are good for students, and that students who are engaged in music and the arts perform better academically. We know that the arts are good for business and the jobs they create and the revenue they generate, not only in our community but nationally. Mm-hmm. And overall, I think the arts help us as individuals and as a community express ourselves in ways that are helpful and meaningful, inspire creativity, help spark dialogue, help provide a meaning to our lives that goes beyond just the mundane. I mean, imagine a life without art or without music. How bleak, how dreary would that be? And so when we have the opportunity, for example, for murals in the community or public art, to support the visual arts, the performing arts, to engage young children in that, those are opportunities we want to take, because even though it's intangible, we know that aesthetic is important, and it helps inspire people, helps spark creativity, helps people to think differently. And especially in younger children, we want them to be able to realize that potential and realize their dreams, and themselves have those expressions through art that will make other people better generations to come.
When the foundation board is sitting around and they hear the conversation that towns, regions have a tightening budget, do you all feel a certain obligation to try to advance art in the community when government is maybe pulling back on some things?
I think that plays into the thinking. I mean, we don't, nobody wants to be held hostage. And so, we always want to encourage organizations that face these tightening budgets to still find a way to do what's right for their constituents or their students. So I don't know as we necessarily feel an obligation to step in and pick up all of the slack, but we're sensitive to that and would hope that our efforts would leverage others to do so as well.
Thank you for all that the Wayne County Foundation does for the arts organizations and for arts in Wayne County as a whole. And thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you. I mean, WCTV is, reflects the arts as well, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, thank you for what you do and helping to inspire us.
Thank you. Thanks for watching this month's Access to the Arts. I appreciate the support from Earlham College, also Joe Lapone, Ray Onko, Steve Borchers, Diana Papin, our Artist Spotlight, and Monica Coachline. As we leave you, take a look at some of the events around the community that you'll have a chance to enjoy. Take care. This episode of Access to the Arts has been made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together. And by Phillips Drugs. Phillips Drugs is your good neighbor pharmacy with free delivery and Pill Pack 2.0. Phillips Drugs with 3 locations, East Side, West Side, or downtown Richmond, and online at phillipsdrugs.com.